I had seen Monster Squad as a child, but I never knew the name of the movie. The only thing that ever stuck in my head from watching it is the end when Frankenstein is being pulled into the void and the little girl throws him the teddy bear. And I remember watching that scene. Yeah, and as a kid, you think about the feels, but it was such an emotional moment in a film that it stuck with me. And when I finally had talked to one of my friends, he had told me, like, yeah, it's Monster Squad. And I went and bought it at Best Buy the next day. Because I was like, finally, I have an answer.
It's a great film.
To the mystery that has been most of my adulthood.
Yeah. Every now and again, there's one of those movies that you remember as a kid, but you can't remember what it was as an adult. You're like, I want to watch that movie again because I remember liking it as a kid or only seeing part of it or only remembering part of it. For me, I had the movie Something Wicked This Way Comes, which I finally saw.
The Stephen King book?
No, that was the Ray Bradbury book, but it was a Disney movie.
I always get confused.
Yeah,
really
Disney
good
movie.
Film.
Yeah, and I enjoyed that, and I bought that eventually, which is cool.
One of those moments recently, and I was talking to you, Jeff, about it, where it's a movie about somebody's running around and blowing up everything, and then there's a guy on a merry-go-round, and he's strapped to it and gets blown up, and then Jeff's like, it's blown away. And I was like, I've been trying to figure out what
Bridges and Tommy Lee Jones?
Yeah.
The thing is I've been trying to figure out what that movie was since I was 8.
Have you guys ever seen Arlington Road, speaking of movies with bombs?
No, I haven't.
Maybe.
It's Jeff Bridges and Tim Robbins. An excellent
I
film.
don't think I did see that.
That's a really good film. I
Yeah.
remember seeing that years ago when I was in college.
I watched it on the cruise that I was on when I was 18. I went on the cruise, and one day it was late at night. They had closed down the bars on the ship and everything. So I was like watching the TV, and I was like, "Oh, what's this? I'll watch this movie. Sure, why not?" And loved it. And it was
it's a great film.
And because it was on the cruise ship, they had edited it down for kids. So instead of saying like "F you," they're like "Forget you."
Warning. The following program contains language not suitable for younger listeners. And spoilers. You have been warned.
Now beamed from the fortified bunker below Culver City, California, this is Well, That Happened Movie Review.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Well, That Happens Movie Review Show. This week we watched the movie Wolfcop. I forget who it stars. It was
Fabian Nunez.
Anyway.
Leticia Cordova. Max
Right.
Weinberg.
Jacques Lafont.
Toby McBuyer.
Really?
Yeah,
that was lame.
Real
I
good
wasn't
one.
sure where else we were going.
Sam Blamderos.
Oh man, I love his work. You ever see him in Footlooses?
So we watched Wolfcop, starring Leo Fafard, Amy Maticio, Sarah Lind, and it's about an alcoholic cop blacks out and wakes up in an unfamiliar surroundings, and crime scenes seem oddly familiar when the full moon is out. Alrighty, so that was the movie of the week. So, gentlemen and lady, how would you describe this movie? What would be your log line for Wolfcop?
Our Netflix style log line.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
What's the one thing that can make a super strong werewolf even super stronger? Booze. In this Indiegogo funded movie from Saskatchewan, Canada, a cop goes on a drunken rampage as a wolf.
I like that. That's actually pretty good.
That was really good.
Sam,
I just made it up right now.
what would be? That's good. Well done off the top of your head.
All right, here we go. Blood drug creating shapeshifters trap local boozing cop in a tale of intrigue and cocaine and werewolf titties. I don't even know. Fuck this movie.
Haley, what is your log line for Wolfcop?
Well, it's not fuck this movie, but it's probably not as good as that. When a lone drunk cop has too much to drink in the woods, he wakes up and finds he has turned into a sexy beast of a wolf, and he's ripping a face out of crime. He's a wolf, he's a cop, he's a wolf cop.
That's
Wow,
good.
That was excellent.
That was good. Damn.
Seriously.
The ripping the face off was really cool because that was actually pretty well done.
I will say this. You forgot the fuck that movie line.
Fuck that movie.
No, it was.
No,
anyway,
I love that movie.
Mine is lame compared to everyone else's. Pissing his life away, Luz, a drunk cop, is changed into a werewolf who now takes a bite at a crime, and that's it.
What does he mix?
I wish you had ended it earlier. Pissing his life away, lose a drunk cop. Period.
I should have stopped there.
Full stop.
I was doing very well until I hit that point. I can't read my own writing.
But by the way, my favorite thing about the movie
Yeah.
was his name.
Lou Garou.
Lou Garou.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, that's
That was clever.
great.
That was super
Yeah.
clever, and I appreciate that.
Yep.
Like I appreciate this sort of tongue-in-cheekness that went into some of the writing in this film.
Yeah, let's move on. Since you appreciated the tongue-in-cheekness of this movie, Todd, what is your favorite werewolf movie? Do you have a favorite werewolf movie? Do you watch werewolf movies?
I think my favorite werewolf movie, and I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this, but I think it's probably Wolfman. Is that the one with Anthony Hopkins and
Yes.
yeah.
Benicio del Toro?
Oh, the new one.
Yeah, the new
remake.
one.
Oh, wow.
I genuinely liked that film. I
I-
thought it was very
I
pretty.
didn't get to see it.
I was
I
expecting.
really liked it a lot.
I was expecting the Jack Nicholson, Michelle Pfeiffer atrocity from the mid '90s. Wolf.
I like that movie.
I wanted to like Wolf. I just can't because it's ungood.
It's
Good.
It's
Ungood.
fun. It's good. It's got James Spader.
James Spader's pretty great in it.
He's great in everything. So
No, Wolfman with Benicio del Toro and Anthony
That's
Hopkins
interesting.
because it's a really fine. It's so beautiful. It's absolutely a beautiful film.
I agree with you. I think it was gorgeously shot. I just thought some of the story changes they made were kind of unnecessary. I didn't like, spoiler alert, I didn't like the fact that Anthony Hopkins ended up becoming the bad guy at the end, his father, which was completely off from the original Wolfman.
Well, I suppose, but they weren't going with canon. You know what I mean? They were making a new movie.
Yeah.
I imagine it can't be as bad as Van Helsing or anything.
No,
like that.
no, it was better than
Van Helsing
Helsing.
is awful.
That is god awful.
never seen Van Helsing. It looked terrible.
It's terrible. There's a few makeup things that are really pretty, but that's just from my point of view. But the rest of it is stupid as hell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when Universal Studios still had their Van Helsing walk-through maze, I was thinking to myself, I thought to myself, this is not appealing at all. This is terrible. This looks terrible.
It could have been cool. It could have been a neat movie, but they fucked it up. It was terribly done all across the board.
No, Wolfman was great.
I like the scene when he
And
changed.
I read that a lot of the effects in Wolfman were practical.
Well, that's
not
awesome.
digital,
That's good.
which I think is pretty sweet.
I do like
prefer the
practical.
effects.
Yeah. Which, doing a werewolf movie, doing a practical werewolf change is very cool, and it looks so much better.
And it's
Not-
really
for-
hard.
For me, nothing gets better in terms of werewolf changes like John Landis's American Werewolf in London. God damn.
One of the
Good
best
movie.
ones
God, I
out
forgot
there.
about that.
Such-
That's a really good movie.
That actually just popped in my head. I was gonna go with Teen Wolf, but I decided no, American Werewolf. I fucking love that movie.
Yeah, that's going to be mine. Although followed very closely by The Howling.
I have not seen The Howling.
That's a great movie.
I mean,
Pissed
but
that
I gotta
forgot
tell you,
about
The
American
Howling.
Werewolf in London because that movie's so good.
The Howling can't hold a candle to Teen Wolf. Michael J. Fox is a werewolf playing basketball player.
I don't know. If you haven't seen The Howling, you have to see it because it's great. It's great.
What's the one with Gary Busey? Silver Bullets.
that was
good too.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like
one.
Gary Busey because he's just crazy.
Who plays the kid in the wheelchair? I know it's somewhat semi-decent in terms
Is
of
it-
acting.
Christopher Reeves.
Corey Haim.
I think it might have been Corey
I
Haim.
think-
Wasn't he
Corey
really
Haim.
in a wheelchair though?
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, he's a wheelchair-bound kid, and he was the one who nobody believed.
Not in real life. He
Yeah.
wasn't in a
No, I
wheelchair.
thought he was in a wheelchair for real because
No.
he was drunk driving and like.
No, Corey Haim was never in a wheelchair. He was.
No, Corey Haim just died of drug overdose. That not being in a wheelchair and a drug overdose. It is Corey Haim. He plays Marty Colshaw.
I wrote a
not
werewolf
important.
movie. That's one of my favorites as well.
I do like that script.
Thank you.
It's good.
Thank you. All right, Haley, what do you think is your favorite werewolf movie?
Well, I had a hard time because I realized I don't watch that many werewolf movies as I thought I did. But I mean, I like the American Werewolf transformation, but the movie it's not a major one. So I just decided to go with Alvin and the Chipmunks meets the Wolfman because that's the only one I remember the plot to at the point in time when I came up with this. And it's cute. It's Alvin and the Chipmunks. Theodore gets turned into a werewolf. They do Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde on stage. It's a good, fun family flick, and I love it.
I'm not talking about that. Moving on.
Let's not just move on.
No,
Yeah.
fuck Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Well, I want to ask the people at home, you, our WTH Army, what's your favorite werewolf movie? Let us know. Podcast.com or check us out at facebook.com/WTH podcast. Drop us a line. We will read your comments next week on the movie show. And I think with that, now we can move on.
Yeah.
Is that all right, Todd?
All right. It's time for question time. This has usually been Sam's segment, but I've decided to take it and use it for my own purposes.
You nefarious fiend.
Yes. This week is going to be question time, werewolves, mythology, and movies. It's going to work the same way as before. You're going to hear the question, then you say your name to chime in. Whoever has the most points by the end is the winner. Question number 1. What is the name of an American Indian werewolf? Also the title of a 2006 horror movie.
Sam. Wendigo?
No.
That's the Canadian.
2006 horror movie starring Jason Barr and Elias Koteas.
Todd Skinwalker.
Correct.
Nice. That's a good.
Wow.
One.
That was hard. I was just thinking of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
How did you get Skinwalker from Teenage Mutant
Well,
Ninja
because
Turtles?
Ilias Koteas is in that.
Oh, okay. He is?
Alright.
I don't even know who he is. Is he Shredder?
No, here's the other guy.
Oh, he's Casey Jones.
Yeah.
Question 2. The Beast of the Jeu de Vent, a wolf-like creature that terrorized France and featured in the movie Brotherhood of the Wolf,
I fucking love that movie.
was said to have been killed by what magical artifact, setting a new precedent?
Todd, Silver Bullet.
Correct.
Wow. I don't really watch werewolf movies.
I
Have
don't
you seen
either.
Brotherhood of the Wolf?
I have, but it was a rhino, or was it a lion?
There's a lion with
Yeah,
a
with
suit.
the suit, yeah.
I love that movie.
It's really good.
All right. Question 3. Lon Chaney Jr. played what tragic character in the Universal movie The Wolfman?
Haley, the Wolfman?
That's the name of the movie.
I know. I just.
That's not the name of the character.
I don't remember the actual
Well,
name.
then you failed.
Okay.
Sam.
Oh, go ahead.
No, actually, you beat me to it, I think.
I was just going to say Sam.
He plays Lou Vega from
No.
Mambo Number 5.
No. Todd, did you have...
No, I was going to say
You
Sam.
said, okay.
I was really going to
Well,
say
then
Sam.
Everyone was incorrect. It's Lawrence Talbot.
Oh, God
I was gonna
knew
say that,
Because that's
but-
who he was in then The Wolfman, which I
Yeah. which
He's
you just
also
said.
one of the villains in Uncharted 3, Talbot.
Yeah.
Oh, he is.
haven't played that yet.
I like that
Yeah.
game.
Question 4. There were several ways to cure a person of werewolfism in medieval Europe. Exorcism, surgically, conversion to Christianity, or by using what medicinal plant?
Haley,
Yes.
Wolfsbane.
Correct.
I thought you were going to say weed.
I was going to go with leeches.
Also known as monkshood. Question 5. Though the film is now lost, made in 1913, what is the name of the very first werewolf movie?
Todd, the werewolf.
Correct.
Wow, they really thought
Shot
about
in the
that
dark.
one.
What do I feel like you're going to win this one?
Yeah, Tom may win this one.
I can't
I gotta
get
change
yeah.
that.
All right. Question 6. What movie has been remade into an MTV series which originally starred Michael J.
Sam.
Fox?
It's
Yes.
Teen Wolf.
Correct.
I got one, bitches.
Question 7. According to mythology, a person needs a full moon to transform into a werewolf. True or false?
Sam. True.
Todd, false.
Todd is correct.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
When did they come up with the full moon shit?
That was later on. It's actually thought to be in like one of the later Universal movies, but it's kind of unclear exactly when the full moon was used, but it wasn't early on.
See, movies can change reality. Lemmings started committing suicide. Werewolves changed during the full moon.
Neo is the one.
All because of movies.
Question number 8. In Greek mythology, King Lycaon was turned into a wolf by Zeus. What term for the ability to change into a werewolf was the basis for the king's name?
Todd, lycanthropy.
Correct.
Fuck you.
This
How about
is-
that? Yes, I'd like to answer the fuck you.
Question number 9. Unlike his counterparts, the Wolfman never got a standalone sequel. So in the follow-up film, what universal icon did
Haley.
the Wolfman... Yes.
Dracula.
No. What universal icon did the Wolfman face?
Oh, I know who it is.
Sam, the creature from the Black Lagoon.
No.
I don't think I understand the question.
So the Wolfman never got a sequel?
To what?
His
To
own
his
movie.
movie.
Oh, to his own movie? Okay.
Yeah. So when he did get a sequel, he was always with another monster. What was the first monster that he was with?
Dracula.
That's what
I
Haley
just
said.
that.
And no.
Haley, Frankenstein.
Yes, but you already lost. So
Sam, Dick Cheney.
it was in Frankenstein meets the Wolfman.
I went with Van Helsing on that one. I hate
I
myself.
should have picked Transylvania 65000.
Here we go. I'll be very impressed if you guys get this one. Question 10. One possible explanation for werewolfism was eating an infected rye by what fungus that later was used in the development of LSD?
Sam, fungusitis.
No.
Todd, athlete's foot.
No.
Haley, ringworm.
No. The fungus is ergot.
Yeah, okay. That sounds about right. Yeah.
Ergot was one of the things that the three wise men brought to baby Jesus.
It's also one of the elements on the periodic table.
All
I
right.
think so. Ergot.
1 through 10 was mythology and werewolf movies. The following 5 questions are going to be, I'm going to give you the tagline. You have to tell me the movie. Okay?
fun.
Okay, I can probably do
All right.
this.
So,
And
question.
now, are they Netflix taglines or Jeff taglines?
These are the Netflix and or IMDb taglines.
All
So
right.
I got them off one of those 2 sites, whichever one was I thought better. 11. Publisher Will Randall becomes a werewolf and has to fight
Todd.
to keep his job.
Wolf.
Correct.
Hi, Sam. How are you?
I'm doing great. Haley, how are you?
I don't know anything about this game.
Question 12. A squad of soldiers is sent on a routine exercise in the wilds of Scotland, but the mission turns into a nightmare when they find werewolves.
What is that called?
Sam, the Gray.
No.
Damn it.
Todd, World War Z.
I know
No.
what it is. I just don't remember the
Haley?
fucking title.
Oh, Train Spotting.
No.
Brother, it's Brother something.
American
No.
Werewolves in Scotland.
I've
Nope.
seen it because it made me have nightmares for like.
The movie is called Dog Soldiers. One
That
of my
was close.
favorite movies.
Never even heard of it.
Never heard of
It's
this movie.
Good.
ridiculous.
It's good. It's good.
It's ridiculous.
All
So
right.
I will hate that.
13. 2 American college students are on a walking tour of Britain.
Sam, American Werewolf in London.
That is correct.
Well done.
That's one of my favorite films. If I fucked
It's a
that up,
great
I had to
movie.
get that.
14. A New York cop investigates a series of brutal deaths that resemble animal attacks.
Ooh, a New York cop chasing wolves down.
Haley,
Not devil's advocate.
Yes.
is it Underworld?
No.
A New York cop chasing down a series of what appear to be animal attacks.
I will even give you a hint. Stars Albert Finney.
Oh, Todd, Wind in the Willows.
Nope.
I was like, oh man, you got that one? I guess not.
Might be Annie.
Sam,
Yeah.
Dark City.
No.
I love that movie.
The movie is Wolfen.
That's not a movie.
Never heard of that.
Never heard of that
Oh,
either.
it's a great movie. You should check it out if you like werewolf movies, which I do, and apparently no one else does. That's cool. All right, last question. 15. 2 death-obsessed sisters, outcast in their suburban neighborhood, must deal with the tragic consequences when one of them is bitten by a deadly werewolf.
Todd, Macbeth.
No.
What was it again?
Two sisters, one gets bitten, one turns into a werewolf.
Yes. Outcasts in their suburban neighborhood must deal with the tragic consequences when one of them is
Haley.
bitten by a deadly werewolf.
Ginger Snaps?
Correct.
Holy shit.
That's a real movie?
That is
Yeah.
a real movie.
Wow, I was gonna go with Fright Night.
I've never actually seen Ginger
I
Snaps.
think Jeff just makes shit up, and
No.
then Haley's in on it.
No. She
If
hasn't-
I was in on it, I wouldn't have only 2 points.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't
So-
be winning.
Well, that's because you may be in on it, and Jeff makes it up, but I'm psychic. I solve crimes.
Todd is the winner with 6. Sam and Haley have tied with a paltry
Yeah.
2.
Well, fuck that
No
shit.
worry, never gonna happen again.
So well done, Todd. You have won question time. Werewolves.
Yay, questions. Yay, werewolves.
Moving on. Okay, well, let's discuss the movie. What is one of your favorite parts of the movie and one of the least favorite parts of the movie? Since, Sam, you have been saying that you don't like the movie, Todd.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I really liked, what I did like about the movie. Okay. I don't necessarily know if it's a single part, but I really enjoyed the cleverness. Okay, and I like that the transformations were done practically. I like that the movie was shot, and it looked great. It really did look great, and it was shot for $1 million Canadian, which breaks down to about $758,000 American. And the fact is, that's not a lot of money for what turned out to be a well-made movie. That being said, this movie is not my type of movie. I can respect what it is. I get it. I think they did a really good job with it. This is not my type of film.
What was your least favorite part?
The transformation scene. The fact that the cop was sick, like throwing up, and so he goes into the bathroom and he pukes, and it's a lot of puke, and you see the puke, and then he starts pissing, and you see the pee, and as he's peeing, the pee turns from yellow to blood red. The camera then focuses on his penis, which swells up, turns black and hairy, and turns into a wolf penis. That was my least favorite moment. The transformation was the most grotesque, disgusting werewolf transformation I've ever seen in my life. And the fact that it was kind of cool because he essentially molted, like the werewolf skin was underneath his human skin, and then he molted the human skin to become the werewolf. I thought that was a neat idea, but that was my least favorite moment because holy goddamn shit. Seeing a giant werewolf dong pissing blood, just God bless it, hurts me.
Haley, what is your favorite part of the movie and least favorite part of the movie of Wolfcop?
There were so many favorite parts in this movie, and yet again, a lot of my favorite parts are my least favorite parts of this movie, if that makes sense. I'm gonna go with, since we've already talked about the wolf penis, and I was horrified, but thought it was great at the same time because it was practical. One of my other favorite parts of this movie is the wolf cop is fighting some thug guy. It rips off his face. The face flies across the area, lands on the windshield of the car, gets stuck to the windshield wiper, and is just swiping back and forth. And then the guy
That
who
was
got
hilarious.
his face ripped off is running around screaming and runs up to the side of the car, is still screaming, scaring the guy in the car. Loved it.
I did like that scene. It's not my favorite.
And I mean, the least favorite scene, is when he's in the jail cell and he asks for a drink. And all you can hear is the glugging sounds, because that's the one part that drove me insane with this whole movie. But this is just me. I hate sounds like that.
Sam, what if you have one? Actually, you have to find one. Your favorite part of this movie?
The end credits, because the torture was over. Honestly, I really, I really did enjoy the opening sequence. What I think I enjoyed about the film is the fact that it felt like a television show. I felt like I was watching the opening sequence, set it up like I was watching a new show on TV. I did like the editing. I thought it was very clever in the opening sequence. That I enjoyed. My least favorite scene was the werewolf sex scene with the woman, because nothing like seeing a pair of titties and a werewolf hand grabbing it to really ruin the mood. That whole sequence was bothersome. I looked at my
They had sex in the jail cell.
Yeah, like a genuine porno.
And you know what? I was kind of okay with that scene after the fact that I found out she was a 200-year-old woman.
No, that pisses me off. By the way, was she a 200-year-old woman or was she a gray alien? Because at the end, when they finally start killing all the shapeshifters, they look like they're the aliens, like they're the
They're
Greys.
shapeshifters. They can look like something else, but they happen to be 200 years old.
But why would she then become that old woman? Why not become the gray alien that she was at the end when they
Because she's
killed her?
trying to hide it in plain sight.
Well, she wasn't trying to hide. She was changing to an old woman from a young woman.
She was also the power.
You can't change in front of somebody and be like, "No, I'm not a shapeshifter."
No, she wasn't claiming to not be a shapeshifter. They knew at that point. They were in the woods in front of the wolf.
But then you don't have to change into the old woman. She could have stayed Jessica the whole time.
You know what it was? No, you know what it was? That was the director's mom, and he was like, "I'll put you in my movie, Mom.
If you
Check
have
it out."
sex with a wolf cop.
Well, actually, she didn't have sex. The young Sarah Lynn
Technically, though.
Technically, script-wise, yes, she had sex with the werewolf, but she didn't have sex with the werewolf.
You're still in your head, as soon as he figures out that she's an older woman, you're still somehow picturing in the deep, dark pits of the back of your mind that she had sex
You know what?
with
No,
that
I'm okay
wolf
with that because I'd tap that.
In the deep, dark pits of my head, I was imagining how to cause pain to survive this torturous scene that I'm watching. These two actors, one in complete werewolf makeup and the other woman being like, yeah, I'm imagining right now getting pounded out by a guy in a werewolf outfit and keeping a straight face during this sequence. Why they weren't laughing of just the absurdity of this sequence is beyond me. Like, she's up against the jail cell bars and he's grabbing her boobs, and it's just like this fake claw thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing?
And it was all shot slow motion, like
Yeah.
the Tom Cruise sex scene from Kelly McGillis from Top Gun.
Yeah.
Like, it was ridiculous.
Which I can't figure out why you're not laughing at the absurdity of this.
Here's the thing. I don't know what happened where I don't particularly care for these kinds of movies anymore. It drives me insane that all they're going for is the cheap budget for the quick, let's just slap it together. Like I said, if they were genuinely trying to tell you a story and just it fell apart under the weight of their budget or whatever, that's a different thing. But for me, when they do like Sharknado or, Sharktopus or fucking the Attack of the Megalodon Dick, to me,
I want to see that.
it loses what is so wonderful about campy B horror films.
It's the hipsters. I blame the hipsters because the hipsters have this thing about wanting to go and see bad movies. Like, oh, let's go and see some bad movies and we'll throw some fucking Twizzlers at the screen like goddamn Rocky Horror. A bad movie is a bad goddamn movie. And because someone sets out to make a bad movie is not going to make that a good movie, even though all the hipsters want, you know what it is? Holy fucking shit.
He's just put this conspiracy theory together.
Jeff's a hipster.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely a hipster.
That's the problem.
No. It's to me it's like
damn,
this.
I just figured it out.
To me it's like this. It's fun. It's not supposed to be exciting. It's not supposed to be a serious movie. It's supposed to just be a fun time.
I was wondering why Jeff
it's like when
showed up
people
wearing
go.
a fedora.
It's when people go to see their Michael Bay movies. When they go see Transformers. It's why people go see.
No. People don't go see Michael Bay films because they're like, oh, it's going to be a terrible film. They think it's good.
There are some people that actually like that.
There are people who are like, yes, explosions and racial stereotypes, please.
And I'll admit,
please give them to me.
I like the first Transformer film. All the other ones are terrible. I like the Bad Boys movies. I thought those were great. I love The Rock. I really enjoy Armageddon.
So you like several Michael Bay films?
I don't really care for them, period.
Okay, so you don't like it all. So you don't watch any movies to have fun. So that's what you're saying to me. You don't watch a single movie unless it's got a good story to have fun.
Oh man,
No,
yeah, no,
well,
I think I think you're right. No, I
So
don't.
I mean, that's basically what you're saying. You have no fun ever
not-
watching a movie. It's got to be serious all the time.
No,
I'm
it's not.
serious,
It's
Sam.
not. It's not that it has to be serious all the time.
I
It's
liked
just
his voice.
Yeah,
when he did you.
Hey, I'm angry Sam.
I'm angry, Sam. I'm angry about everything.
My thing.
I'm Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, but for me, when I want to have fun, I still expect them to seriously attempt to make a movie, not seriously attempt to make a bad movie just to make a bad movie. That's what separates it for me. Like,
I think that this was a serious attempt to make a movie, and this is what I'm saying. This is you're feeding into my point. I think that they actually worked hard. They had clever writing. They spent money and time on the effects, and they did a really good job. I don't think they were intending to make a bad movie. I think that they did a good job with what they had, and this is what I was
Yeah.
saying earlier. This is just not my type of movie.
I mean, for me, this falls in the same camp as, although it's a, I think, better movie, but Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. It's supposed to be a campy, fun. Yes, it's horror. Yes, it's campy, but it's like horror comedy. It's this blending of the two genres, and to me, that's fun.
I do like Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I
Right.
did like that movie because I felt that it was a satirical take on the B camp horror films. It wasn't a B camp horror film just to be a B camp horror film because of the low budget.
And so to me, this was like this was a satirical version of cop movies, and basically cop movies.
I guess I didn't pick up on that.
Cop movies and basically cop movies. Those are two completely distinct genres.
Indeed.
Okay, I mean,
But
yeah.
you have like the cop who's down. I mean, think of like The Last Boy Scout, which is a great movie. We talked about.
God, I love that goddamn film.
We have the drunk cop who's down and out. He gets his case, and all of a sudden he musters up his internal like wills of power and is able to go out. And
But Bruce
ultimately-
Willis was a likable character. The character they wrote, there was something redeeming about him.
no, but I'm
Lou
saying-
Garou is not a. That's his fucking name, by the way. He's not a redeeming character whatsoever. He's kind of he's a scummy guy.
I liked his friend though. Well, so-called friend up
Willie?
until the end. Yeah, I loved Willie. Willie had the best lines in the whole freaking show.
Willie
But
was
I just
pretty
didn't
funny.
like that he ended up being one of the villains.
I know. I was really bummed out about
And they
that.
gave it away so quickly. It would have been just nice to not say anything.
Well, there was at one point I turned to him. It's in the first few minutes. As soon as they introduced the sheriff, I went, "He's a bad guy."
The sheriff?
Yeah, I'm like, he's a bad guy. There's no way. And then after a while, I started going, this is gonna turn out being like Hot Fuzz. The entire town is in on it. And then, but I was really bummed that Willie turned out being a bad guy because he was so cool. And I like his line of Lou says, "I could turn you in for kidnapping a cop," and he says, "Well, I could sell you to science."
Right. Like that shit's funny. That shit was funny to me.
There
And,
were some clever
There were moments, yeah.
you know.
Well written.
So,
I just like that he's a werewolf at night and he's got all this time to modify his car.
That was
into
awesome.
a wolf.
That was hilarious.
That was going to be one of my favorite scenes.
I
That's
like that bit.
One of your favorite scenes.
That's
there?
one of my favorite scenes is the him going out attacking the piggies, which I thought was funny because
Yeah, and the fact that when the chick showed up at the jail to have sex, she was in the Red Riding Hood outfit.
right, like that stuff's funny. It's clever to me, and it's just a good time. It's kind of like, haha, I see the reference, and I like where they're going with that. Yeah, but turning in the cop into the Wolfmobile was just funny.
I do
It's
like
funny.
that he was able to completely modify his car in about 6 minutes.
Right. Well, it's a montage.
And I like when
It's
he
funny.
runs his like claws across the hood so he can make the giant W that lights up.
No, it may have been a montage, but I'm serious. Like, I think it only took him 6 minutes because it was night when they went in, it was night when they leave, and they still had all night to fight crime.
Did you guys watch the end credit sequence?
We did.
Yeah, the whole thing with the little
dog.
dog at the very
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't care about that at all.
Well, what made it better is if
'Cause
the
I'm angry
werewolf-
Sam.
if the werewolf had then gone to a picture of the werewolf in bed with the dog smoking a cigarette.
See, that's what I thought was going to happen. But he would kill that little dog.
With that wolf dick.
That'll stretch.
Oh.
If you wrap them in duct tape, they won't explode.
Oh my God.
Todd, would you recommend Wolfcop?
I would recommend Wolf Cop to be shown in a dive bar on the screen behind the bar while people are getting drunk. I would recommend it for a frat house, but I would not recommend it for family night.
I will
I
agree
hope
with
not.
that. Haley, would you recommend Wolfcop?
I would most definitely recommend Wolf Cop. This is something I would love to go see on a big screen for like a Rocky Horror type of thing, or what is the other?
The hipster generation.
I'm not a hipster. I was
Kinda
cool
you are.
before they were. Anyway, so no, I would definitely recommend this. I'm actually gonna call my mom and tell her to watch it.
Yeah, and you're in luck because they're coming out with Wolfcop 2. Sam, would
Yes!
you recommend Wolfcop?
I would agree with Todd and say that it's good to play at a bar because you're
Okay.
drinking. There's nonsense on the screen. That's fine. I've gone to bars where they play like old luchador movies from back in the day where he's a detective.
Till
And-
that wolf dick appears. Can you imagine being drunk and seeing that shit?
Yeah, I can imagine being drunk and seeing that shit. Especially if you're going to a bar that's playing those kinds of films. Yeah, sure. Fucking exploding wolf dick right there on the screen for you to watch. But honestly, for somebody to sit down and watch it at home when they're, with their significant other or... No, I would tell them don't watch this film. Go to the bar and watch it in the background. Just it's background noise. Honestly, for me, it's not the worst. It's not Zombievers for sure.
No, it's not Zombievers.
It's not
That's a
Zombievers,
goddamn
but it's
terrible
still
film.
something that I wouldn't recommend.
Well, I would recommend this movie to anyone, especially if you have a significant other that likes
Exploding
horror
wolf dicks.
movies.
This movie should have been in 3D.
Yeah, oh my god, that would have been great. Effects were practical. I loved it. So it's fun, it's campy, it's a bad horror movie, and it's funny, and I love it. So I would recommend this highly.
So that's where we got a split decision
We're
here,
a split
pretty much.
decision, yeah.
What do you think at home? Let us know at WillThatHappenPodcast.com. Drop us a line at Facebook, Instagram. We have a whole bunch of ways that you can contact us. We'd love to hear from you, our faithful WTH Army. Todd, what is next week's movie?
Next week's movie, we're going to be watching Bronson, the British film
biopic.
starring Tom Hardy as Britain's most famous inmate.
And that's good. And with that, well,
Wolfcop.
That happened.
shut up, Jeff.